Okay, do you want to get straight into it, or is there anything you want to talk about?
No, let's just go straight into it. I
Hang
think.
on, that case on to your right was closed, was open a minute ago.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Does it matter?
what
Does it
was it?
matter?
No, no, it
Oh,
doesn't matter. I just wanted to know what it was.
well, it's appropriately enough. Um, Obi-Wan
Yeah,
Kenobi's
that's
lightsaber.
cool. Yeah, yeah. Maybe we should have that open on the side then.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
You got your hot lemon.
that is exactly what's in that cup.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying my wine.
yeah, lovely, nice. Yeah, so right, let's get straight into it then. So today, well, we're going to talk about Obi-Wan because it's just been released not too long ago. Um, what are your thoughts?
Um, as we said in the last episode, obviously I was a little bit worried, but I
Yeah,
was really hopeful that it was going to be awesome. And I'm happy to report after the first two episodes, I was blown away. I thought it
yeah,
was absolutely brilliant.
excellent. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. Really cinematic, really cinematic.
Yeah, it was.
Um,
Yeah, definitely. Uh, you know, just from the off, they took it, right the way back to Order 66 when it was first executed, and yeah, it was just wicked. Like great start, cold open for it, and I think
I,
the episode, because we're going to talk about part one, both part one and part two have been released. We'll just talk about part one for now. Um, Part one, they didn't try to give too much away. Is that fair? Do you think?
I think part one was this is the story as was before. This
Mm,
is the existence he's had in the last 10 years. Um, we don't want to give away too much. We don't want to, have all these action scenes. We just want to set
yeah,
the scene.
yeah,
Um,
definitely. There wasn't loads of action in the first episode, was there? So
and not really in the second either, I wouldn't say, but I can't
I
say I
thought there
was
was
that
more so.
disappointed.
I thought more
Uh,
so, but
oh,
yeah.
absolutely, yeah, definitely more action, but
Mm,
not the sort of you'd expect from a Star Wars
no, yeah.
series slash movie. And as I was watching this, I was just thinking, this is movie. This is like
Mm,
watching a movie.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. But let me go back one step
Go on.
because when it started, yes, we had that amazing Order 66 cold open, which I did get quite emotional
Yeah.
at when it first started. I mean, I didn't cry, but I had tears in my eyes, and I was
Yeah.
because
Holding back the tears.
it's one of my favorite eras, as you well know. But I thought the actual start of the show with the previously on or recap, I should probably say is a better
Mm,
way of saying it, and the edit they made of the prequel trilogy of
yeah.
all the films and all the
Yeah.
key
Yeah.
moments of the prequel trilogy, I thought that was absolutely superb.
Yeah.
And even if you weren't a fan of the prequels, I'd say that probably did a great job of picking out all the amazing moments from the prequel trilogy, in my opinion.
And the most
Um,
important bits that are like
and the most important
pertinent to
bits
the
to the
series.
story,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it kind of feels like, obviously, the series is only two episodes in,
Mm,
but it kind of feels like now that there's episode one, two, and three, then there's this coda in the middle, or there's going to be this coda in the middle, and then four, five, six.
mm,
Um, so I really liked that. I thought it was fantastic. In fact, I've watched that previously on or recap about five or six times. It's only a couple of
yeah.
minutes long,
Yeah.
and each time it gives me goosebumps every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Do
so
you
yeah,
have you like sort of picked up on any Easter eggs or anything we should, the average fan would miss? Not so much.
there's a couple of kind of obvious ones. I mean, I don't know if you spotted C3PO and R2D2 in the party scene on Alderaan.
No, I
Um,
don't think I did actually.
yeah, they're really in the background. I mean, hear C3PO talking, and he's quite
Okay.
easy to spot, but
Yeah.
R2D2 is more difficult.
Mm.
There were a few other little minor Easter eggs, but nothing of any significance that I
Yeah.
can think of right now. I mean, do you want to start through the show from beginning to
Yeah.
end? We're
Yeah.
bound to
So
miss
I mean, I've got some questions from the start. The cold open, in fact,
Yeah.
was a great start. It actually, the Jedi Master in that, minus Velty,
Yes.
so that she actually had a name. Do we know her? Have we seen her before?
The Jedi, no, she's never appeared in anything before, but the actress who played her was a stunt actress, from what I read from the Mandalorian
Okay.
series.
Yeah.
So she's, or it might possibly need Book of Boba Fett, but yeah,
Yeah.
she's been in Star Wars, but the actual character, the Jedi character, has never appeared before. But what you know, as soon as that started and those doors opened, and those clone troopers
Yeah.
came through, and they started doing
So,
the Jedi, you know, deflecting from the
turning
prequels.
around,
I
yeah.
was just I was jumping around the room, going, "Oh my!" You know, I don't care if the rest of the series is crap.
Yeah,
This
it
is
was
brilliant.
the perfect cold open, really, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know, there's a kind of, was one of those five Jedi Padawans, Reva, one of the Inquisitors.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'm
Oh,
guessing
what is that? What you're thinking?
it
Okay.
could be,
Yeah.
but something else I picked up on as well. I know you watched Revenge of the Sith before you watched the series,
Hmm.
but there's a scene in Revenge of the Sith where, Obi-Wan and Yoda are walking around the Jedi Temple,
Yeah.
surveying the damage of what's happened after Order 66, and they walk along the bridge that looks very similar to the one they ran off on, and they come across all these dead children,
Yeah.
Padawans,
Right.
and Yoda says something like, "These Padawans killed by
Yeah.
a lightsaber."
Yeah.
So, you know, they could run off onto that bridge and they could get massacred by Anakin. So we could see a progression of that
Yeah.
flashback,
Okay.
which could explain what, if Reva is one of those
Hmm.
Padawans, why Anakin perhaps spares her life.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a possibility there.
Yeah. Um, they move pretty swiftly onto the 10 years later,
Yeah,
when the Inquisitors are landing down on Tatooine. Um, we didn't really know much of the Inquisitors, or at least I didn't. I don't know if there's anything more that you know from previous series or
they
anything.
they were quite prevalent in Star Wars Rebels.
Right.
That's where they were introduced. The Grand Inquisitor and the fifth brother, I think, was the other Inquisitor in the series so
Oh,
far.
okay.
They both appeared in Rebels.
Right.
He was played by Jason Isaacs or voiced by Jason Isaacs in Rebels.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought Rupert Friend, who plays the Inquisitor, is really, really deliciously evil.
Yeah.
That speech when he's
Yeah.
walking around the saloon and he's, you know, talking about how they hunt Jedi.
Yeah. The
I was
Jedi
thinking,
hunt
yes,
themselves.
yeah. I thought, yes, that's absolutely brilliant. He really did. I really liked his character. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah. Reva, on the other hand, is getting quite a bit of stick on Twitter. The actress, isn't she?
Yeah,
She's
I saw
done a
some
good
of that
job.
earlier today.
I
I
don't
think,
really understand that.
no, I don't. I mean, I think she did fine.
Yeah.
I think there's some idiots online.
There
Um,
is in there. Twitter.
yeah, Twitter drives me mad.
Yeah.
It's really disappointing because it really puts a downer where we should all be celebrating what's happened over the last weekend at Star Wars Celebration and
Mm.
the launch of this really great series.
Yeah.
You know, whether you like something or you don't like something, there's no need to be vindictive and nasty and
Exactly.
racist, and I
No.
think it's disgusting. So yeah,
Yeah.
I tried to, I don't want to say I ignore it, but I certainly don't want to get involved in the
No.
discourse because I
No.
think it's terrible.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. No, it's not good. So the Inquisitors, without delving too much into episode two, into part two rather, um, they are ex-Jedi that have turned to the dark side. That's right.
Yes, I think that's pretty much it. There's some episodes of the Clone Wars where Sidious tries to kidnap Force-sensitive children,
Right.
and I think there's possibly hints that they could have been kept from children and taught ways of the dark side so that they became Inquisitors later on. But I don't think it's crystal clear,
Mm.
really. I'm
No.
thinking they are probably ex-Jedi, or perhaps someone who's leaning towards the dark side, but wasn't perhaps a Jedi. So yeah, I'd say we stick with what the show said, because that's what the show said. So I don't know any different.
Yeah. So the reason I say that is because I'm right in saying there can only be two Sith. Is that right?
That's right.
There's the
But they're
Master and the
definitely not
Apprentice.
Sith. They're
No,
definitely not Sith. They're just dark side users.
right. I didn't realise
Um,
that was sort of an option as such.
well, I suppose
Grey
you
area.
could grey area, but you could argue that the Sith apprentice always has someone who he's trying to groom to become his apprentice. So are they just a dark side user until they usurp their master,
Mm.
and then the rule of two happens again? So Asajj Ventress from the Clone Wars, or Darth Maul's brother, whose name escapes me right now.
Yeah.
I forgot. I can't remember. They were being trained by Count Dooku as his apprentice, but they weren't necessarily Sith yet because he hadn't defeated Sidious.
Yeah, right.
That's how I look at it. And also, I suppose the Sith aren't stupid enough to teach them perhaps all the powers they would need in order to be Sith.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty certain that the Sith, Darth Vader and Sidious wouldn't be stupid enough to teach them enough to be able to usurp them.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
So that would be my way of brushing over perhaps that grey area.
Yeah. Good. And then we move on to Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I mean, Obi-Wan.
Ewan McGregor makes his first appearance in the series.
Yeah.
So he's cutting up meat. Is that a crate dragon?
I don't think it's a crate dragon. It looked like some kind of, because in Book of Boba Fett we learned that Tatooine used to be an ocean, and I'm assuming that's a giant fish that was preserved under the sands, and they find it. Who I don't know. I'm completely guessing, but it felt Star Warsy, so that's all that matters to me. I don't really need an explanation for a lot of things.
I just wondered if it was a thing, if they talk about it in Mandalorian.
It's not something I'm aware of anyway. No. But it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
So he tries to reach out to Qui-Gon, doesn't he? And in Revenge of the Sith, I remember Yoda saying that he'll teach him how to communicate with his former master.
Do you know what, Adam? For me, that scene where he gets up from the dream and tries to communicate with Qui-Gon, and obviously them adding that bit at the end of the recap at the beginning of the episode, was my favorite moment of the entire show so far. I know I've said Darth Sidious is my favorite character, and he is my favorite character. I love how maliciously evil he is. I think he really plays the evil brilliantly. It's excellent. But Qui-Gon is the most important character in Star Wars.
Yeah, so I hear, but it's almost a short-lived character as well, isn't it? Really.
But his character, I think, if it wasn't for his character, it would have just ended with Episode 3, and Luke wouldn't be able to, carry on. Obi-Wan wouldn't be able to carry on. Yoda wouldn't be able to carry on. I think it's really important that if you haven't seen those 4 episodes in the Clone Wars where Yoda first discovers that Qui-Gon's talking to him through the Force, you have to watch those, because it really explains how he's discovered how the Jedi should be, and how they shouldn't be as dogmatic as they are during the war. They shouldn't be warlords like they are, or generals in the army. They should be practicing the Force, using the Force, being one with the Force
for peace as well, isn't it?
Exactly. So I think Qui-Gon, him being mentioned and him being mentioned in the beginning of the episode, for me means he's got it. He's got to show up.
Yeah,
exactly. When make an appearance, it'll just be a voice. But
of course, yeah.
Yeah, but I think
but there will definitely be.
It definitely be in it. I mean, they can't not put him in it now. When Obi-Wan's at peace again at the end of the series, hopefully, he realizes his mission isn't over and he's come back to the Force. He'll be able to, speak to him again. And I can't wait for that moment. It'll cap the series off perfectly if that's the last scene of the series.
No, I think, you could go on to something.
Mm.
I mean, there's quite a lot that they're going to go through, I think. So, and also, are we thinking Yoda might make an appearance?
I'm not so sure about Yoda. I don't feel
Yoda said that he'd teach him how to reach Qui-Gon. So
yes,
I wonder.
I presume he meant he'd teach before he left to go to Tatooine.
We don't know. Yeah,
we don't. I mean,
that he'd gone straight there. Really.
Yeah, I got from it personally that he was going to teach him before he left. But I don't think Yoda could speak to him through the Force because Yoda was not. He was still alive essentially, so he wasn't a Force ghost yet, so he couldn't speak to him through the Force. That would be.
I just wonder if he might sort of make a visit to Dagobah at some point.
Oh, absolutely possible. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, anything's possible in this show. To be quite honest with you, I think I think there's going to be some surprises coming up. I really do.
It has to be. I mean, they're non-stop with the surprises, really, aren't they?
Absolutely. I think there was a couple in the second episode, which we'll go on to later, which were great. I thought they'd do it, but it was great to actually see it. Yeah. But let's go on to talk about Leia turning up.
Yeah. See, I've written this down actually. I'd almost forgotten about her. Didn't really think she was going to be a part of it at all.
No, I'd heard rumors.
Yeah.
I'd read rumors on the internet that she was going to be in it, and that's why I kind of said in the last time we spoke about that. Them Disney bringing out a bit of merchandise, and of course the little teeny droid with the Mickey Mouse ears came out, which is fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. I thought it was fine.
We knew merch would be a bit.
Merch is always a part of it. And no doubt I'll be buying it at some point. But I have to say,
it'll go on your wall somewhere around there.
And another thing I've seen online is not many, but a few complaints about the actress, the little girl who played Leia, and I have to say I thought she was brilliant.
Yeah.
I was giggling and laughing at some of her lines. I thought they were fantastic.
Whether her character fits that of Princess Leia, I mean, obviously she's 10 years old, so it's difficult to know at this point, right? But
I know. I think if you take Padme's character from the prequels and Leia's character from the original trilogy and then meld the two together, her attitude, intelligence, and what's the word? Sort of spikiness, in terms of humor, was absolutely spot on. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
I really loved
Fair
it. I thought she was a great character. The only negative I have, and it's very small. I mean, it's tiny. It's not really worth mentioning. But just to be upfront, is the only negative comment I have is when she was running away from the pirates that were trying to kidnap her.
I think we've got the same comment here.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, okay, so why haven't they caught her yet?
Able to catch her quite easily. Grown men.
This little branch has stopped me. I can't get through. But it's such a minor thing that it really doesn't matter. And
I mean, it was still faster paced than the moped scene in.
Yeah. I mean,
but let's not get into that.
No, let's not get into that. It was a better chase than that. And one of the pirates. See, I'm not a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan.
No,
I'll probably get beat.
Do you know what? I knew it was Flea before they'd even shown his face for some reason.
Oh, really?
I don't know why. I just knew.
Yeah, so I saw him and thought, Needles from Back to the Future, part 2 and part 3. So yeah, that's how I instantly recognised him. And then when the credits came up at the end and it said Flea, I went and looked it up and it was like, oh yeah, okay, he's from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah. I'm not very good at music. I don't do music.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but Jimmy Smith's back as Bail Organa.
Yeah, I was going to say about that. That was good to see.
Fantastic. Yeah. Continuity. I love continuity in Star Wars, and again, this show is knocking it out of the park so far with continuity. I thought
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
absolutely great.
yeah. It's
Really
good to
good to see
see.
him back.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
So the kids are 10, Luke and Leia.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
what was I going to say? Obi-Wan's got a long way to go to lose a lot of hair and go a lot grayer than he has.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
just thought that was a bit interesting. That
yeah. Well, I think here's a bold prediction for you. Possibly, well, he's obviously going to face Vader at some point. What if he fights Vader, and I think Vader's got to think he's killed him after he's fought him somehow. He's got to, because he's
so
got
it's
to
sort
think,
of a disguise.
yeah,
Oh,
he
you
thinks
reckon?
he's killed him, he hasn't.
Yeah.
But I can't think of a better way of phrasing this. But hopefully you'll sort of get what I mean. But the shock of, what's happened to him, and the the ordeal he's just been through, when he gets back to Tatooine, it
Yeah.
perhaps sort of, he'll instantly go grey and lose all his hair over shock. No, it won't be like that.
We'll see. We'll see how
We'll
that
see.
goes.
But I mean, they might just leave it.
Yeah.
They might
Do you
just
know
leave it.
what? I was looking it up. I did a little bit of the research because I thought there must be 20, 30 years between them, but there's actually not. There's 12. It's when Alec Guinness played the part of Obi-Wan.
62?
He was 61, I think, 62.
Yeah.
And Ewan McGregor's 51 now. So,
Yeah.
10 years to go.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's
How
pretty
old
spot
was
on,
Luke?
isn't it?
How old was Luke when the
Well, they say 19,
Yeah.
but
So that's not far,
it's
it's
1920.
pretty
So
much
yeah, it's pretty much on the nose, isn't it? So
yeah, so they've nailed it again.
no. Yeah. Oh, one other Easter egg I've just remembered. The spaceship that the Jawa gave to Obi-Wan, the T-16 Skyhopper
Yeah, yeah.
toy. That's the
That's
same.
what-
That's the one that Luke has in
Yeah,
Episode 4 that
I was
he's
gonna say.
flying around. So I mean, it's quite an obvious one, I know.
Yeah, yeah.
But just in case you didn't catch it, I thought that was great.
Going back to the sort of introduction of Princess Leia, she's up in the trees, isn't she? Looking at spaceships.
Yeah.
Is there any
But I
any
don't
Easter egg
know.
there? Or
The Tri-Wing I've heard of, but I don't know anything about it really.
yeah,
And the Pleasure Cruise ship that she mentioned, I don't know why. Maybe it's the cynic in me, but I thought, oh, is that to advertise the Disney hotel that they've just opened up in Disney World, where it's an
that's quite a
immersive
long shot, but
experience?
it could be.
Have you heard of it, the Disney Star
I
Cruiser?
don't know that I have, no.
No, well, it's a hotel, just quickly, basically, that you spend 2 days in, but it's a spaceship and it's
Right.
enclosed with screens all around everywhere. So you don't know
Cool.
you're actually on the planet. You think you're
Yeah.
in space the whole time. And it's called kind of like a role play sort of hotel. So I thought, it's the Pleasure Cruiser, is that one of those that perhaps taken off and,
Yeah.
subtle sort of advertising.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah.
That's sort of. Is there anything else in Obi-Wan that in episode 1 of Obi-Wan that you need to mention?
I mean, I thought the Jawa scene was fantastic. I thought it was quite amusing.
Yeah. The Jawas were used for a comedic effect quite a bit in Boba Fett as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or was it the Mandalorian?
I think both really.
Yeah.
Mostly Boba Fett though, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought that was excellent. I thought it wasn't over the top comedy. It was, nice sort of funny lines.
Subtle enough, yeah.
Yeah. I thought the other Jedi that turned up on Tatooine and went to Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan tried to deny who he was. I thought this is brilliant. This is Obi-Wan is rejecting the Jedi, and I thought it had parallels to Luke in The Last Jedi. And I thought, oh, this is how you do it well. I thought, they didn't. He kind of rejected going back 3 times until he finally said, okay, I need to go back, and do my job, for want of a better phrase.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really well done, and it was nice that it just took one episode for him to just go, right, I'm going to sort this out, rather than some series, not necessarily Star Wars, but all series, they drag these things out, don't they, for episode after episode, and you're waiting for episode 4 to come, and they finally go off on their venture, and you think, They could have just done that in one episode.
Exactly.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it seemed steady. It wasn't like a fast-paced episode at all, but
no.
But they got across everything they needed to.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, and then
I thought,
obviously moved on to the bit like as you were saying, like him returning to do his job. Yeah.
Oh, and sorry, I don't know how much time you've got, but
We've got a bit of time.
Okay, Joel Edgerton, who obviously played Owen
Talent,
Lars,
yeah.
I thought fantastic. He did really
Didn't
well.
look any older, so
Well,
kind
I
of helped.
think
Not loads older.
not loads older, but he looks a bit more grizzled, I thought.
Yeah.
And I thought he'd got the voice down quite well compared to the character in episode 4.
Yeah.
I thought had a bit more grizzle to his voice. I thought that was really good, and I really liked his scenes between him and Ewan McGregor. I thought the powerhouse sort of scenes, really good, really good.
Yeah. So that was actually another thing I was going to say. He says about training Luke. So like the Jedi is still in him, but then obviously Joel Edgerton's character, is it Edgerton or Egerton?
Edgerton, I always say.
Yeah. His character said to sort of stay away. Obviously he dies in episode 4, so is that sort of Obi-Wan's sort of cue to jump in there and do what he always planned? Or
well, I think I'm not sure it worked out that way. I think it was more a case of the message got sent to R2. R2 went down to the planet. Luke got the droids. R2 escaped. Luke went after R2. Obi-Wan found Luke.
Yeah,
and it just happened to be a
all came about
confluence of events that led to the Empire going to find the droids at the farm, Luke not being there. But I mean, he says a couple of lines in episode 4, doesn't he? That wizard's just a crazy old man, and stay away from him. And so told. he still has the animosity towards Obi-Wan or Ben in episode 4.
Yeah, so that sort of wraps up most of episode 1, doesn't it?
I think so. I mean, I'm sure as we're going along, we'll remember things.
Yeah,
the episode and add them into other episodes. But
how many times have you watched it?
I've watched episode 1 through intently twice, and the same with episode 2. But I think I probably watched parts or bits of episode 1 at least 4 or 5 times now. I have to admit, I've watched the Order 66 moment quite a few times to try and spot little things in the background. And the first time I watched it, I never noticed. I can't believe I never noticed because it's so loud at the end. Palpatine saying "Execute Order 66" over and over and over again. I never noticed that the first time. Maybe because I was so like, "Oh my god, this is brilliant! Oh my god, this is brilliant!"
I wasn't even paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention. No.
Were there more orders like before 66? Why did they land on 66? Is there any significance to that? Or?
None that I know of.
No.
I'm sure there's something in a book or a comic, but I don't really follow that stuff particularly unless it's canon. Although all books and comics now are apparently canon, but I just don't have enough time to read 30 comics and 150 books. so I tend to.
I'd have thought you'd have read them all already, to be honest.
Well, I used to read all what they call legends back in the day. I read all of those in the 90s and early 2000s, and I really enjoyed those. They were great, but obviously they're all non-canon. They were non-canon back then, but they're legends now. But they're still taking things from those and putting them into the shows, which is nice.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We also then had Star Wars Celebration.
Oh yes, yeah.
Have you got anything you're excited about?
The thing I'm most excited about. Well, the thing I'm most excited about is it's going to be here next year. Over the Easter weekend, and I've already booked the hotel for 5 nights. Yeah.
Wow.
Just to make sure that I've got the rooms. Because already they're getting booked up because that's what Star Wars fans are like.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
That's so cool. Steph and I have booked the rooms for 5 days. But
so that's in London.
It's going to be at the XL Arena.
The XL, yeah.
So that should be good fun.
Yeah.
But there was trailers for the Bad Batch season 2, and I quite enjoyed the Bad Batch season 1.
Yeah, it was
So
okay. It's
I'm looking for
decent.
Bad Batch season 2.
I
There
think
was
you've got to have watched quite a bit of the Clone Wars to move into
definitely,
that, though. Eh?
definitely. Andor looks really good.
Yeah,
I'm really intrigued with Andor. I think it looks like some kind of political thriller,
yeah,
along with some kind of like Bourne action thing. Looks absolutely
I
great.
think
Can't
so.
wait for
Yeah,
that. And it seems
be
to span.
interesting where they go with that as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems to
Yeah.
span lots of eras as well. So
Okay.
that's quite interesting because you see clone troopers in it, you see stormtroopers in it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so yeah, that looks pretty good. But unfortunately, a lot of the stuff wasn't released to the public unless you were there. You didn't see
yeah,
it.
yeah,
They streamed it online every day for the 4 days,
yeah.
but they'd never streamed any of the main panels. So
Okay.
there's
Yeah,
they showed Mandalorian season 3 footage. They showed Ahsoka footage. They
that should be
showed
good. I'm
they
looking
showed
forward to
Tales of the Jedi footage, which looks really good as well. Another animated series. So
that.
unfortunately, we'll have to wait for that. But
Yeah, for sure.
overall, it looked really good fun. But hopefully, I'll be there myself, and hopefully, you can come up and join me
Oh, that will be good. Yeah,
next year. Yeah.
I can find the time. I'll be there. Yeah, good.
Cool.
Cool. Well, we'll call it there. We'll move on to episode 2 in the next episode.
Cool.
Move on to part 2.
Excellent stuff.
Cool.
See you soon.
See you in a bit.